Okay, first things first, you need to find your Kabuki character template that looks like this, and you're going to cut out all 3 of these shapes. All right, once you have your shapes cut out, you are going to take them and trace them onto other paper. So these two, the square and the rectangle, the kimono and the sash, will trace onto regular paper, blank paper. And the body one here is going to trace onto this heavier cardstock. So you can see I've already traced the body there. Okay, go ahead and get you a pencil and trace your 3 shapes. Now, when you trace, if you want to, you're going to cut these out. So if you want to put this square in the corner of your paper, then you only have to draw 2 lines, and you'll only cut out 2 lines here in just a second. Okay, so get your shapes traced here. Oops, not perfect, but that's okay. All right. And when you have those traced, you are ready for the fun stuff. Okay, so we are ready to add some color to these characters. Now, like it said on the patterns, the square is going to be basically your character's clothing. It's going to be kind of a robe. This long rectangle is going to be what's called a sash that goes around the robe and kind of ties it together, ties it closed. And then this shape here is going to be your character's body, their head and neck here. What your job is to fill up this whole square and this whole skinny rectangle with your designs for what your character is going to wear. So you're kind of designing like the fabric of their costume on these two. On your pattern for the robe or the kimono, you probably saw that there is a dotted line there. What that is for is, after we cut this square out, after you design it and we cut it out, we're going to fold up just a little bit like you would fold on this line, except don't really fold your pattern, just you're going to fold on the paper. That's going to fold up, and this little folded back edge is going to be like the trim around the collar of your robe. So you'll put a little color on that as well. Okay, for your character, again, this is going to be their body, their face. You can go wild with this one, okay? This might be where you get that optional, if you find this page that's in your kit, it shows you all the different, a bunch of different Kabuki makeup designs for all the characters in Japanese Kabuki theater. So you can see here, maybe you can use these as inspiration, and you can see down here what the different colors mean. So maybe you want your character to be courageous and strong, so maybe you would use red. If you want to make a bad guy, the color for bad guys in Kabuki theater is usually blue or sometimes brown if it's like a monster or a demon. So you can think about those colors a little bit when you're deciding what you want to do. On the back of this page, you've got some blank faces so that you can design your own Kabuki style makeup. So I'm gonna flip over here and show you ones that I did. Okay, you can do all sorts of things. I kind of use, this is gonna be a bad guy, I think. So I used the blue color for him. This guy, I don't know. I'm not sure. He's a good guy, I think, but maybe he's got a little evil in him. I don't know. Just let your creative mind go wild here. I really like this one here. Pretty simple. Usually Kabuki characters start with a white face, like they put white makeup on first and then add all the colors on top. So if you want to do it like that and it'll look like a traditional Kabuki style character, go for it. If you want to do something totally different and use totally different colors, and go for it. Let your imagination run wild. Now would be a great time to pause the video and really take your time designing the face and designing your robe and your sash. And remember, you'll fold up that little edge and do a little bit there too. okay? You can go off the edge of your drawings, and you can, on your character's face, like, see how a couple of mine have some hair going on? If you want to draw in the hair around your character's, this circle here around their face, go for it, okay? I'm going to show you this one real quick before you pause. Here's one that I did. You can see my square under there, but notice how I went off the edge. We're going to cut this out in a little bit. So if you want to go off the edge of where you traced, that works too. And don't forget that trim on the other side, that little folded up piece. All right, go ahead and pause and let your creativity take control. All right, you can see I've got all the designs done here. I filled up my entire square and that folded back trim. I did my sash and I did my character here. Now I didn't do the body because it's going to be mostly covered up by the robe, but I did do the neck and the head, and I added a little hair. So next step is just to cut them out. So once your 3 shapes are all cut out, we are ready for the origami section of this project. Remember, origami is that Japanese art of folding paper. So first things first, you are going to fold that little piece back there on the edge of your square, about that wide, about as wide as your thumb, maybe a little bit smaller. That'll work, okay? And remember, you should have decorated that. If you didn't, you can pause here and make sure you get some color right there, okay? Once you do that, go ahead and flip it over so the white blank side is showing, and you're going to take your character, the body, and you're going to lay it right in the middle with its head sticking up above. So the neck should be right at the top where that fold is, okay? Next step, you're going to take one corner and you're going to fold it down. So your fold starts right by the neck. You're going to fold it down kind of over the shoulder there, okay? The trick with origami is to make sure you got it folded, like you've got it kind of bent over where you want it before you smush it down, before you crease. So make sure you got it in a good spot. Remember, your fold should start kind of right by the neck there, and it sort of makes like a triangle. You can see that. And then once you feel like that's the right spot, you can go ahead and squish that fold. Give it a good crease so it looks like that, okay? You are going to do just the other thing on the other shoulder. So take this corner and you'll start by the neck. It kind of helps maybe to use a finger or a fingernail right by the neck to tell your paper where you want it to fold. And just fold it over so you get that little triangle shape there. And when you like it, give it a smush. Okay, so we're starting to get a robe shape here. Getting some clothes on this character. All right, next step, you're going to take the side of your robe here and it's going to fold in over the body. Okay, when you like it, crease it. Same thing on the other side. Okay. Right. Pretty cool. Now notice here, some of the body is still showing. So if you want to, after you've got it all folded, if you want to open it back up and add some things, if you didn't decorate the body kind of like I did, I think I'm gonna add a little bit there so she doesn't look naked under there. But that's how that robe goes back together. So if you want, you can pause now, add something to your body. Now that you can see exactly what's gonna show, you could add something. If you want to pause, go ahead and do that, but if not, we're gonna move on to the last thing. Remember our sash here, we're gonna take it, so the color side is down, and we're gonna lay that character with its robe on top like that. And then this sash, just like a real costume, a real robe, sash is gonna wrap around just like that, okay? All right, and once you have all the folds ready, you can open them back up and you're just gonna put a little bit of glue on your paper. Oh no. Okay, so you put a little glue here. My glue is retired. It's all used up. You can put a little glue here, stick it down, a little glue here, stick it down, maybe a little here, stick, and a little here, stick. And you have yourself a Kabuki inspired character. Once you've completed one character, I really want to encourage you to use your pattern pieces that you cut out to create more. You can use any kind of paper. Your kit even includes some special fancy papers with different patterns on them. Maybe you could trace your robe onto one of those and make a new body out of your leftover cardstock. Okay, you can get lots of characters out of here still. And make yourself a few more Kabuki characters. Remember, this is like a play, so create a few characters. Maybe you could even write a story for them. You could write a script, you could design a set, and let your characters act out a story. That could be really, really cool. Remember, you have this sheet to design some makeup for your characters. I think it almost feels like kind of designing like a superhero. You can figure out a name for them and what kind of person they are, what kind of superhero they are. Have fun with it, okay? And don't forget, we would love to see your creations, so send in pictures to us so we can put them on display in our gallery. All right, enjoy.